Welcome to On the Corner of Main Street, presented by Plaza Hotel and Casino in downtown Las Vegas. Here is Plaza CEO Jonathan Jossel, Gary Vickery, and I'm your host, Lisa Melmed. Hello and welcome to On the Corner of Main Street. Hello, Gary. Hello, Jonathan. How's it going?
Very well. Jonathan, how are you?
Great. Happy to be back with you guys and happy to talk about everyone's favorite subject. I know you guys have a wonderful guest later on that will be joining us. Everyone's excited, I'm sure, to learn about this.
Stay tuned.
But Gary's excited because he just reminded me it's 1 year, not to the day, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, when this goes live.
It's my sister's birthday today. Happy birthday to Sarah Jossel.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
It's 1 year to the day that we reopened.
Yeah.
June
from the
4th?
closure.
June 4th, yeah.
Remember, we
Yeah,
were all
we
taking
opened.
bets on when we were going to reopen. I said June 1, and everyone was hedging that I was going to be right. And of course, I wasn't. It was a Thursday. We got to bring back some of the videos of us reopening the doors, everyone coming back. We were the odd ones out. Not the odd ones out, but downtown did the midnight 12:01 thing, and we did the 9 a.m. thing. Doesn't really matter. It feels like a million years ago at this point.
It really
It does, yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Feels like we've come a long way from then. Other exciting news, of course, is I won the pickleball tournament here at the Plaza.
Congratulations.
We had a huge turnout.
That was for charity?
Yes, yeah. Inspiring Children is a great charity, if anyone hasn't heard of it. It's a local academy here that started up, and I think it's been going about 15 years now. It's been going a while, but they have a great program, Inspiring Children, so we supported that. And they hosted a tournament here all weekend long for Memorial Day, and it was very cool.
So you won your own tournament, though.
Yeah, it sounds rigged. I did have a very good partner.
Home field advantage.
Yeah, yes, exactly. But we're hoping to do it on a more regular basis. We had a few of our guests from the podcast participated over the year. Steve Sear was here
Nice.
playing in it. Sam Cherry was here playing in it. So we had some a lot of our regulars,
Sounds like fun.
friends come and support us. And it was fun. It was a good tournament, yes.
And in 1 month and 1 day, on July 4th, we're doing our full weekend of fireworks celebration.
Yeah, July 4th, we'll be doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
All 3 nights. Make sure you come downtown, check out the fireworks. Wherever you are, you'll be able to see them. If you're staying at the Golden Nugget, you'll see them. If you're staying at Cirque, you'll see them. Some of the best views, frankly, will be at those locations that you'll see out, South Tower roof, where you'll see the best view of the fireworks. And July 4th we always do, but because it's also tied into the 50th anniversary and because July 4th's on a Sunday, we just thought we'd throw in a bonus Friday, Saturday fireworks. I hope our friends will be joining us for the show. And I'm pointing to our friends, they can't speak, but it's our guests later on. So anyone knows who we're talking to. They will be the Smaking Foodie Tour. Will be joining us. But yeah, we're excited to celebrate it. Obviously, like we've talked about in other episodes, it's not the 50th we had envisioned. You know, England is still closed to travel. I was supposed to go next week, and
What'd you decide?
spoiler alert for the surprise. I don't think I can go because you got to quarantine, and I don't think I should have to quarantine at this point. But the international travel still closed, and so it's crazy. A year after we've reopened, there's still no international travel, really.
Right, we're at 100% now. Everybody's rocking and rolling here in the States, mostly across the country.
Think about how busy Memorial Weekend was here. It was the busiest weekend we've ever had in many departments, in many areas. And
And how long? In a year or longer?
Maybe ever.
Ever?
And to think that other parts are still shut down and Canada can't come here. And, when you look at what was happening in live music just started back up on Fremont Street. When you look how busy it was everywhere, it just does seem crazy that we can't travel yet, but across borders, I should say.
Right, yeah, Canada's still not able to come down to Vegas yet either, so.
Soon
I know. Some of our friends there keep asking us when they can get here.
Oh.
But at least for now they have the podcast, right?
Shout out to Canada.
Also, because of COVID, we sent out a survey yesterday about to smoke or not to smoke. And we received the most traffic to our website in the last 5 years after sending this survey out about smoking, because people have a lot of opinions
Apparently so.
on smoking in a casino.
Yeah. So we're waiting to see what people. I guess you wanted to do it more as just to gauge people's opinions.
Yeah, it seems like that's the direction that people are moving in very slowly. So just to see where our players are, where our guests, what they want.
And with our casino floor evolving as well, right? So we just opened the South Tower check-in registration area. We added the BC slots, the Wheel of Fortune area, a few other things. Electronic pit will be kind of coming in shortly. So as the casino floor is evolving too, it's good to gauge people's
BC
temperature.
slots area is non-smoking.
As of June 1st. So
his area is non-smoking, but we are not currently considering a non-smoking casino. But it is interesting to see people's opinions, and I'm glad to see you've had such a great response, and people are wanting to engage in the conversation, the debate about it.
Yeah, that is. It is
see what
nice
they
to
say.
hear the feedback.
We'll see what comes out of it. Definitely, no one's done it yet. No, that's not true. Sorry, Park MGM did do it when they reopened.
And I think some in others, definitely the ones in Arizona or like Phoenix area are non-smoking.
Can we just take a minute to admire what's happened downtown? I mean, even since we had like John Curtis on the podcast and the amount of restaurants that have opened just since then, there's this new Soul Belly barbecue, which I've eaten at 3 times.
You have?
It's mind-blowing how good it is. The place is fantastic. It's on Main Street. It's a great barbecue concept. And there's the new Greek restaurant that you and I and a few others went to not too long ago that Jay Dapper did. Jay Dapper will be a guest on our podcast shortly. He's a local developer, and he's the one responsible for bringing back the Huntridge theater. And he owns a building where there's a Greek restaurant, the Great Greek. I mean, just down Main Street alone in the last month, we've got all these great restaurants. You got to remember, when I came here in 2007, I think there was 3 restaurants in all of downtown.
Wow.
And to see now
and no nightlife, right?
No,
I mean, at the time there was just one bar.
No nightlife. The 3 restaurants were Tinoco's. There was a baked potato place that was very good.
Wow.
That was up by Charleston and Las Vegas Boulevard. And if anyone's been downtown a long time, would love to, if you could remember the name of the baked potato place. And Kebab Corner. Kebab Corner used to be down where Inspire Theatre is.
There's also Downtown Cocktail Room, which me and Gary had the good fortune of going to on the Lip Smacking Foodie Tour.
Why don't we bring them on?
So let's bring them on. Today we are joined by the president of the Lip Smacking Foodie Tours, Donald Contursi, and excellent tour guide, Tom Svoboda. Welcome to On the Corner of Main Street.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
Thank you for being here. Well, me and Gary had the good fortune of going on a Lip Smacking Foodie Tour with Tom as our tour guide. We set it up with you, Donald, and got to see the East Fremont tour. And you have multiple tours, but so tell us about the Lip Smacking Foodie Tour company.
So we've been in business now 6 years. We actually started on the Strip, taking our guests to Aria and Cosmopolitan. And as you experienced in the Fremont East District, there's a lot going on. And we thought it would be fantastic to showcase not only those restaurants in the area that are mostly local driven, but also to talk about the history of Fremont East and why it's been revitalized over the past few years. And so it's been a very popular tour of ours. We've now expanded into the Arts District, some phenomenal restaurants there, and some great history and art galleries that we showcase. And of course, we have other tours throughout Las Vegas, Chinatown, Venetian and Wynn. So it's, but Fremont East has been an experience of ours for about 5 years now, maybe even longer.
Wow, so it didn't take long for you to realize that you needed to do something that was downtown specific for when the company first started. You said you did about a year just exclusively on the Strip and then started to kind of branch out in the different areas?
I knew right away Fremont East was going to, because Carson Kitchen was there before we started, and they were bringing a lot of people into the area. And Therapy had opened, and some others. And the reason we didn't kick off with a Fremont East tour right out of the gate is just because we were still building our company and our customer base. So we just didn't have the demand for it. But about a year into being in business is when we started, and it's a very popular experience of ours. We bring a lot of guests down here.
Yeah. So where are you from, and how did you start?
I'm from Chicago. I moved out to Las Vegas when I was 18. My mother moved out here to get out of the cold, and I tagged along and finished high school out here, went to college, and worked in a lot of different restaurants on the Strip, worked my way up to some of the top restaurants, opened STK at Cosmopolitan, Gordon Ramsay Steak, worked at Botero at Wynn, and some others. And then I just was Mr. Know-It-All when it came to the restaurants. If you go to Carson Kitchen, make sure you get the chicken skins. If you go to Therapy, make sure you get the chicken and red velvet waffle slice. So with that information and knowledge, I was like, how great would it be to show people around and point them in the right direction? And it's just grown from there.
That's awesome. And Tom, where are you from, and how'd you get into the biz?
I am originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and my wife and I moved out here because a few years ago we just fell in love with this city, and we knew that we were going to live here one day. We got married, we moved here a year after that, and when I came to Las Vegas, we actually took a lip-smacking foodie tour.
Oh, wow.
And so Donald was our tour guide.
Oh, my gosh.
I didn't know he was the owner at the time, but one of the things that really blew me away was my wife is a vegetarian, and as we were going along, all these special dishes came out just for her. And, I thought that was really cool. I called Donald the day after the tour, and I said, are there any opportunities, and, we started talking about different things, and I thought when we moved here I would be in restaurants. It's what I've done my whole career. It's what I love, and this has just been a dream job since the moment we linked up. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Was Tom your first employee?
No, but he's been amazing. The busier we've gotten, we always seem to attract more passionate people that take it real serious, and Tom is right up there with one of the best. It's been cool to see because doing it myself, I put my heart and soul into it, and then building it to where it's actually you could attract people that would want to work for you, that it's a good experience for all of us. My guests, their guests, the tour guides, everything, and it's just been cool.
Tom, if you could take us through what the experience is for the guests. I'm sure there's many people who haven't necessarily heard of the tour, but haven't gone on it. So, explain to kind of what you get out of the tour.
Definitely.
So, if you want to focus on maybe the Arts District or the Fremont East one.
Well, I think Fremont East is probably the most pertinent. It's right next door, and you guys were just on that tour.
Could walk there from here?
You got it. It's a short walk right from the plaza. So we're not the first people to do food tours, but I think we're truly one of the only ones to do it like we do it. And so when you take a lip-smacking foodie tour, you're going to meet us. We're going to send you an email. It's going to tell you exactly where to be, and you're going to join up with us. You get checked in. From there, we're not going to just say, our first restaurant is Carson Kitchen. What we're going to do is we're going to give you the story about downtown. What does the revitalization mean? Why did it happen? Where did that $350 million come from? All of those things. And we're going to get you invested in downtown, whether you're a local that's lived here since day one or whether you're vacationing and you just want to check out this area because you never left Las Vegas Boulevard. You're going to have an expert tour guide that'll guide you. Once we kind of whet your appetite, so to speak, we're going to whisk you into the restaurants. You're going to sit at the best table in the restaurant. We'll sit down. The food comes right out. And as you saw, there is a tremendous amount of food.
There really is, yeah.
I oftentimes like to tell people this is a marathon, not a sprint. And we serve more food so that even if you're a more discerning eater, if you dance around the dishes a little bit, everybody gets enough food to leave full and happy. From each restaurant, we're going to give you enough time to eat. If you're on the beverage package, your cocktails are ready when you arrive. From there, we actually take you on a walking tour through the Fremont East District. And along the way, we're going to talk about secret speakeasies that people know nothing about. We're going to point out pieces of art on the walls, the buildings that people walk right by every day and they have no idea about. And all of that just kind of fills your journey as we venture from restaurant to restaurant. We're going to visit 3 of the best restaurants. We do a break, as you guys saw, where we hit up Downtown Cocktail Room for the evening.
Yes.
You get to walk in there. One of the places that the who's who, the bartenders, the servers in town know, you got to go to DCR, you know? And so to walk people in that alley and watch them kind of look around, where's he taking us? And then you ring the doorbell and they whisk you right in. It's a pretty neat thing.
It really is. And also it's cool because you get to experience all the restaurants, but the fact that you guys go into depth about the history and what's going on, and it's educational. Gary and I both learned a few things.
Yeah, I was surprised. I didn't. Not to say that I was a know-it-all or anything of the nature, but we're doing this podcast for the year and being down here for the last 6 years, I didn't know if there was going to be a whole lot to learn, right? And that was my first time over at the Downtown Cocktail Room. I never had the opportunity to go there, and then maybe about an hour into the tour was when, Tom, you started hitting me with some knowledge about gaming on Fremont East. But other than the El Cortez, there's no other gaming down there. And for as many times as I've been down there, I never realized. I never put two and two together, and that was just one of the things that, that I learned on the tour. So even if you're, an expert on Fremont Street or down, Fremont East, there's always something to learn, which was impressive. So I got to thank you for that.
Thank you. I think that's genuinely something really cool. And I hear that from people all the time. We were speaking. I've lived in Las Vegas for about 3 years, and I get folks on the tour all the time, especially downtown. Was like, I've lived here 40 years. What are you going to show me, bud?
Oh, no.
And by the end, they're like, I never knew any of this was over here. And that's
it's interesting to learn about the restaurants and the restaurant owners and how they got started and why they're called 7th and Carson and Carson's Kitchen and all those fun details.
They have really unique stories to them. And I think that's one thing that makes the downtown tour so unique is you can really dive into, the passion of these people and their creativity.
Totally.
Oftentimes we walk into the restaurant and the owner is there waiting for you. And I think that's a unique experience that downtown Fremont East really provides us. One of the reasons it's such a phenomenal tour, in my humble opinion.
No, it is. And so you go to 3 or 4 restaurants on every tour?
Yes, usually 4, but one of the stops down on our Fremont East tour is a break before eating again. It's plenty of food, but it's nice to grab a cocktail. So this one is 21 and up.
Nice.
Walk through Container Park, we showcase that. It's I have so many people that have been to Las Vegas, and sometimes when you say downtown, they're not exactly sure what that means, or they don't know of they know Fremont Street experience, but they're not too familiar with Fremont East, and they don't really come with much of an expectation because they just don't have one. And at the end of the 2.5-hour lip smacking tour, then they're just buzzing because they've discovered something new. Like Tom said, you meet the owners. A lot of times you don't meet the owners, on the Strip and hear the reason for it. So it gives them this community feel that they didn't expect Las Vegas to have.
Yeah.
And it's really neat to be the messenger for that. It started off with the food, just being, foodies, but actually showcasing the community and having a little bit of an impact it's what we I think we really are into.
Nice.
So how did you come up with the name Lip Smacking Food Tour?
So I knew, it's a concept that not a lot of people are familiar with. So I knew I needed to have something in the name, food tour, and foodie's a real popular term. Everybody's a foodie, and I needed to describe how good it is. So I was going through the thesaurus and looking at different words, and when I got to lip smacking, I said it, but I wasn't going to do it, And then it just kind of kept ringing in my head. I'm not going to do that, and I needed to come up with a logo. So I was like, I'll just pick a name and I'll change it when I decide what the name is. And everybody loves it. They just like to say it.
Yeah.
It's got a ring to it. Every time I'm in an elevator wearing my Lip Smacking Foodie Tours shirt, never fails. What's Lip Smacking Foodie Tours? And then, I explain and they're like, oh, that sounds so fun. And, food is fun and people, want to know where to go.
Yeah.
So it's a good name, I think.
It's unique, and we like it because it sticks in your head,
Yeah.
Our restaurants, when we come in, it's very rare that it's all the foodie tours here. It's always, the lip smackers are coming in. And our guests are like that, too. They remember the name, and we really like that. It has that kind of staying power in your mind.
So East Fremont is Carson's Kitchen, Therapy, Downtown Cocktail Room, and 7th and Carson.
Yes, and then we walk through Container Park as part of that experience.
What's in the Arts District tour?
So we start at Esther's Kitchen, then we go to Main Street Provisions, then we go to Recycled Propaganda. That's our break. Really neat art gallery. We meet Isaac, who shows us the mural that he did on the side of the building that's gotten worldwide press. Very impactful piece. We talk about his art. It's really neat. And then we finish at Jammyland.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
See, it's so cool because these are all the hot spots that we keep hearing about over and over again on the podcast and through meeting different people, and you hit them all. So what happens when a new hot spot opens up? How do you choose where to go?
Yeah. So, do you change the rotation at all at any point, or do you kind of
We have been in the Arts District prior to Main Street Provisions opening, and now they've become a consistent partner of ours.
Yeah.
So we try not. It's hard to replace them because they're almost like your kids. You know the team.
Right.
You really are. They do a fantastic job. There's nothing wrong. So new and shiny isn't always. What we try to do is develop new experiences. So if you've taken X tour, next time you could take Y tour. And so rather than replacing the restaurants, we try to, like we have something in Chinatown.
Okay.
We just launched at Venetian and Wynn. Milos
Very nice.
is a new restaurant there that we used to partner with when they were over at Cosmopolitan, and now they moved. So we actually started a tour back up there, and it's been great to revisit a lot of the same faces and pick right back up because, we're all in this together and we're all getting back on our feet, and it's pretty neat.
Do restaurants ever say they don't want to participate?
In the beginning, I had challenges. A lot, like Tom mentioned, a lot of food tours, tend to go in the afternoon only when the restaurants could use a little extra business. We have a lunch and a dinner option, but that dinner we go prime time. So our goal is to secure those seats. This is Vegas. Let's do a VIP style food tour where you can't get a reservation, but we walk in and we're served promptly upon arrival. And in the beginning it was hard to kind of convince why they would want to reserve a space for us when it's hard to get a reservation there regardless. But it's been a great partnership. We've been with a lot of our same partners since the beginning. Javier's, and they're like family. We walk in, especially if it's been a while since I've done a tour, you see them and it's almost like you were on vacation. You're back from vacation and it's just what we love. We're hospitality.
Do you have any plans to open up more tours, maybe at Resorts World or maybe on the West Fremont side?
I definitely want to keep that in mind for certain. A lot of new restaurants are opening. We want to be right there when they open. And so, we do have things in the works. We've come up with quite a few new tours lately that are doing really well. And so, we'll just kind of see where it goes.
What's your favorite tour?
They're all your kids, right?
It's really that's how I feel. They're great for different reasons. Like the Strip is the glitz and the glam. This is Las Vegas, and they don't miss a beat. When it comes to every detail, where they fly the fish in from Greece every day, and it just goes on and on. And then downtown, where you get this really authentic community, and it connects with people. It resonates. So they're both great for different reasons. The Strip, downtown. That's kind of how I categorize them.
Yeah.
I get people that ask me that question every single day, and it's really just hard to pin it down. It's all what you're looking for, and I oftentimes find that what people think they're looking for when they don't get to do that tour because it may be booked up. They want to do the Strip, they do downtown, or they want to do downtown, and they wind up on the Strip. They wind up going, oh my gosh, I didn't even know. This is what I wanted to do. And I just think one of the things that makes downtown special is so often, if you don't live here, other people, they tell you to come to Las Vegas and do what the locals do.
Yeah.
And the problem is nobody tells you what that means. So people get down here to the downtown and they look around and they go, all right, we did it. Let's go back to the Strip. And that's one of the things that I think is really unique because the downtown tour, that Fremont East experience, and the Arts District for that matter, you do get to take them to places where the locals genuinely go.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
There was, on the tour that Gary and I did, there was one group of locals, another group of locals besides us, and then the rest were tourists. And what was interesting was to watch all of their reactions when you were going through some of the restaurants and facts that we might have already known, but hearing their oohs and ahs and like, okay, this is very cool.
I like that because in the beginning, those folks who have lived here for a while, you can always see it right on their face. Oftentimes you got like the crossed arms and you're checking everybody in. And by the time you're halfway through the first restaurant, people are like, would you repeat that? I didn't really catch that. And you warm them up so quickly. And there's so much to see. There's so much to tell people. And not only about downtown, but about the Strip too, that people just walk by because whether you're downtown or uptown, everything is so overstimulating. So when you have somebody that can walk you through and say, look at that. We're going to walk by this. Look at that, and show you the things that really, really pop and the things that have meaning. I think that's one thing that's unique about our brand and what we do is we don't talk about every little thing we walk by. We talk about the things that people miss or the things that people don't know the full stories to. And we try and talk about things that are genuinely interesting. So for folks like yourselves that, we're talking about stuff you are genuinely interested in.
Yeah, I didn't know that by the container park there's the praying mantis that Tony Shea brought, but that then they painted a memorial picture of Tony Shea, but it's facing the mantis so he could always be looking at it. You said it better than on the tour then, but it brought a tear to my eye. It was really nice to learn that.
Yeah, and there's a great showcase of Tony Shea and how much he's done for Fremont East and all the events that go on a container park as well as the Life is Beautiful events, and you guys spotlight that very well.
I think it's an important part of downtown. We talk about Tony and we talk about Downtown Project and the things that have gone on here because you can't tell the story of downtown without talking about Tony Shea. And I think that it's a unique thing about Las Vegas. I've seen many other cities where they revitalize or gentrify, and I've never seen anything like what happened in Las Vegas. So as you build it, people are skeptical at first. You say, this guy, he put the money in and he was very passionate and it was all about the dreams of the people. It wasn't about him. And in the beginning of the tour, yeah, okay, man, whatever. We're just here to eat. And by the end, people are like, so what's the story with this Tony guy? They want to know more. And, I just think it's very interesting. And I genuinely like to share that with folks because I think it's a cool story.
Yeah, it's interesting that so many people don't know about the whole story, which obviously if you don't live here, you might not know. What about the finger licking foodie tour?
So that was born about a year ago during the pandemic. All of our tours, unless you book a private tour, you go with others, your friends by the end. So I was thinking, people aren't going to want to group with others at a dinner table, sharing food. And so I figured I've never seen it done before, and it is a first of its kind. It's a self-guided food tour. So it's exclusive to you and who you decide to bring. So, couples, date night. We were really gearing it for locals because when travel was down, we figured, maybe our backyard would be a good place for people to get out, support the restaurants, have a date night that's safe, socially distanced. And it's taken off. And it's, we were still doing a lot of the guided lip smacking tours because the traveler that was coming wasn't as concerned about social distancing. Right. But what we realized with the finger licking foodie tours is it touched a demographic that we hadn't touched before. That's the maybe the introvert who doesn't want to socialize for whatever reason. And locals who maybe don't want to be on a tour with visitors. They just want to do their own, and they want to check in with the restaurant, get seated, get served right away, and get up and leave and go try some other restaurants. So that's done really well. We have partnerships in Las Vegas, one self-guided tour all within ARIA. Takes you to Catch, Carbone, John George Steakhouse, optional helicopter after.
Oh, wow.
And, a lot of anniversaries, a lot of special occasions. We even have one in Green Valley Ranch for Henderson. So it's all within the Green Valley Ranch Resort. Arts District, if you want to do that. Self-guided, you could do that as well in downtown and Chinatown.
So are those scheduled as well?
The neat thing about that is you tell us when you want to go. So it's almost like making a dinner reservation. So for the Fremont East, the moment Carson Kitchen opens, you could book a noon slot, 12:30, 1, all the way into dinner. So you basically allows a little more flexibility. And there's a virtual guide that'll show you a map, how to get from point A to point B, and a little background information. The thing that you don't get is all the little tidbits that you enjoyed when you did your tour with Tom. There's nobody there to point things out along the way. You just go from place to place, check in, get your tasting menu, and reservations are great to be reserved for you.
Yeah, and is it the same tasting menu as what you get on the?
It's different. Yeah, we wanted to. It's not as refined, so you don't have the menus in front of you like you did when you took the lip smacking tour. The portions are a little. It's more of a if somebody wants to go a little, on the they're more sensitive on the price, the finger licking foodie tours is great for that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about the Ultimate Steakhouse Tour. I need to know what is involved in that.
So that's available 4 nights a week.
Okay.
And it we've had everyone from CEOs who are celebrating retirement to groups that have hit some goals and wanted to celebrate. It's the ultimate Vegas package. It's 3 top steakhouses, and it's not like it's a filet here in New York here and a ribeye there. It's like when you go to Jose Andres, Bazaar Meat, you're going to have jamón ibérico de bellota, the Spanish prized pig, cotton candy foie gras, the liquid nitrogen olives, A5 Japanese Kobe served, it's cooked in front of you on the hot rock, a tour of the venue, and then you go to John George, and you have dishes that you're only going to find at John George and Mastro's, surf and turf. It's the bells and whistles. Wine, you could choose between a wine pairing where they'll actually bring out what's called a Coravin. That's in order to tap a nice bottle of wine without having to actually uncork it, because they don't serve it as often. They put I don't know if you've ever seen, it's like a little needle that goes through the cork, and it argon.
Okay.
Yeah, they replace it, and so it's really nice wines. It's really the bells and whistles. It's I've yet to do it myself. I've only guided it.
You're making me hungry, man.
I know, Gary, I think you have some drool on the side.
Yeah, I know. Lisa, that's our next tour.
Yes. Deal. That sounds delicious. So it's pretty cool that you were in the industry, started your business, and you're creating something for tourists, locals, and everyone to have this community feel. What do you think the next 5 years are going to be like?
So before the pandemic, we work with a lot of corporate events, and some people are coming in for conferences, and we were doing a lot of corporate events, so 100 people at a time, and then these meeting planners who would plan their event with us would ask if we were able to do this in other cities where their event was held. So I was starting to go, we did one in 2020 in Vancouver, Canada. We've done Seattle, St. Louis, Santa Monica.
And you just choose the restaurant?
Yeah. Go out there, curate it, get ready for the big group, and that was exploding. That's going to pick back up. I already have something later this year in a couple other cities.
Wow.
And so that's a big direction for us. A big focus of our business are the large groups. They want something that everybody can enjoy in their party, and who can disagree on good food. And the big thing that they enjoy is every time they go to the next restaurant, they sit with different people in their party. So it's great networking. So they really value that. And I wanted to mention, in 10 days from today, we have our first large group since everything has been shut down, that we're bringing both downtown and on the Strip, of 250 people.
Wow.
So, and they're all event planners, so it's going to be great when they get to see the neighborhood and hopefully plan their events. So we're just working to get the word out.
We're so excited. I mean, this is huge to see it all coming back, and everybody's getting busy again. I mean, it's remarkable.
And then you have these 100 or 200 people after the tour just in downtown Vegas, ready to go out and explore some more. The night that we did the tour was the night, was it the night that 100% occupancy came back? So all the restaurants were full. There weren't like empty tables next to you. The vibe was so good. And
every
really
day
great.
brings a little more excitement, I think, in the city. It's just, everyone is so passionate and so excited, and we have folks coming in from all over the country right now, and they're all looking for a great time, so whether it's at the plaza, whether it's on Smaking Foodie Tours, you have these guests, and they're so hungry for an experience. I mean, hungry,
the pun's there.
Yeah, it's there. But they're really longing for this thing. They've been shut in, and many of these folks, they literally did stay in their house the entire last year, and so for the first time they're coming out, they look around, and where better to let loose than Las Vegas?
It's kind of nice because it guides you through that first time, that awkward time when you are at a restaurant for the first time, and you're not really sure what to do or what to order, but you just take care of everything. anything.
Oh.
You're like, okay, everyone in, sit down. Here's your food.
It's so funny you say that. That was very much the case when we first opened up, because when the city opened up, so did we. And you had folks in the beginning that were really trepidatious. And it's almost like to have that tour guide there that is like, all right, now this is for you and this is how you eat it. It took a little bit of that, tension out of the air. And to watch people go from very, very hesitant and like looking at the food and then looking at each other and then digging in and watching people take that first bite and the big smile on their face, like, oh yeah, I forgot what it's like to go out to eat. This is fantastic.
Someone else cook the food.
You got it.
Yeah.
So
cool.
right before we started recording, me and Lisa were talking, and we were trying to figure out what is our downtown steakhouse experiences. So we were thinking about adding, Hugo Cellar, adding Barry's, and adding Oscars. Not that we're here to run your business, but we were trying to figure out how to get Oscars, involved in this, and be able to have everybody experience Oscars. And that's where we're recording the podcast right now. So
I think the something you can't take away is the history of Golden Steer, Hugo Cellar, Oscars, the nostalgia of this downtown that can't be replaced. And I think that, like some of the historic places, is the way to do that. I mean, there's history there, and people want to experience that.
Totally.
Well, we'll connect after.
Yeah. 10 out of 10 on this tour.
Absolutely.
It was incredible. Highly recommend it. Thank you both for joining us on the corner of Main Street. And you can stay up to date with Donald and Tom on Twitter at Vegas Foodie Tour, or on Instagram at Smaking Foodie, or at www.lipsmackingfoodietours.com.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. We really enjoyed being here.
We'll be back again soon. But in the meantime, please rate, review, and subscribe. Tell your friends about On the Corner of Main Street. And of course, follow us on social. On Twitter and Instagram, it's at Plaza Pod. And on Facebook, find us at Plaza Podcast. Or go right to the top and tweet Jonathan at Jonathan Jossel. We'll see you next time from right here on the corner of Main Street.